Hello, I'm William Brougham, and you're watching the panel show's Play the Game. On today's programme, we've got three very successful guests who are at the top of their field in their chosen sport. We've got Matt Levy, who is a Paralympian and gold medalist swimmer. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
We've got Albie Aldahawi, who is a pro wrestler, an Instagrammer, and he's also selling his own brand of perfume.
A little bit of everything.
And as if that wasn't enough, we've got pro golfer and coach, Brad Hawkins. Welcome to the show, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. If I could start with you, Matt, tell us a bit about your sport.
Yeah, well, I'm in Paralympic swimming. I've been in that for about 17 years or so now, and yeah, it's great. It takes me all over the world. I've been to 30 or 40 different countries, and yeah, it's great to see the Paralympic movement progressing as it has in the past 20 or so years. It's great to, see them. Yeah, it's great to see the people striving above adversity and being able to achieve what they want to achieve. And yeah, it's just a great sport to be in.
Because you yourself were born premature at 25 weeks, weren't you? And in your early years, you were in and out of hospital. How did you get from there to where you are now, a gold medalist at the London Olympics?
Paralympics? Yeah, it was obviously thanks to my parents, instilling the values and beliefs in me, and yeah, obviously it was thanks to a lot of hard work and determination. But I think I was lucky enough to see the Paralympics in 2000, and that kind of got the passion for the sport and the drive and belief that I could actually do this, and I guess I enjoy what I do, and that's I guess one of the reasons why I still continue to do it today.
What are some of the biggest obstacles you come up against?
I guess for me it's like believing in myself and really understanding where my limitations lie. For me it's not necessarily competing against other people, it's competing against myself and seeing, I guess, how far I can go and what I can achieve.
Albie, on to you, if I may. Tell us a bit about your sport.
So it's pro wrestling.
Exciting.
What more do you need to know about that?
Is that like what you see Hulk Hogan doing?
Yeah, it's like the perfect mix for me. It was between theatre and sports, and that was like sports entertainment. It's like everything I pretty much wanted to do. Yeah. Mixing them both together.
But you've got a fascinating backstory. You came to Australia as a refugee from Jordan.
That's correct.
And you spent a year detained on Christmas Island.
That's correct.
And I think your brother was born there.
That's correct.
So how did you get from there to where you are now?
Honestly, I don't really know what to say with that. It just happened. We started just mucking around with me and my brother, on YouTube. Next thing you know, I'm on stage in front of people performing. It's a crazy journey. But then, yeah, looking back at it, it was a while ago. But
do you think some of those early experiences in detention and as a refugee helped drive you to your success?
Definitely, because when you come to a country where you have so much opportunity, there's so much there to do. There's so many doors to knock on. When we don't have that before, and you come into that, it's like, whoa.
You're currently the Australian Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champion.
Yep.
How do you feel?
It's awesome. I reckon that's pretty much at the top when it comes to a promotion, being the champion. Everyone looks up to you, so that's pretty cool.
Congratulations, by the way. And when I see you in the ring, I've seen videos of you performing, you get so angry. Is that anger real?
Sometimes. We play a character. I'm sitting here talking to you now, but if I was to fight you, I'd be like this in your face. Do you know what I mean?
So are you telling me after you've done your match,
yeah,
you're all friends again, shaking hands, hugging?
I wouldn't say that, but sometimes, yeah.
Have you had many fan stories, strange fans?
A couple times, yeah. With Instagram and social media, everyone knows pretty much where you are when you post something. So then you always get a couple of fans that will meet you in certain locations and be like, hey, I saw that you were here, we just came to take a photo. It's like, yeah, okay, cool. But don't follow me to my hotel room.
Because you've got 130,000 followers on Instagram, and we'll touch on that later when we talk about your other passions. What do you think the future holds for you in your sport?
I'll be honest with you, I just go day by day and see how it goes, because so many opportunities come from certain things that you do, and I'm just taking it day by day.
Brad, if I can talk to you now. You got into golf at the age of 11, didn't you?
Yes.
And at the age of 16, you had a chance meeting with Vijay Singh's brother. How did that come about?
Basically, a park in Sydney, in East Lakes. It was the only park where you could actually hit golf balls without a driving range, you know, paying. So no money, just a few golf balls, and we go down there and hit all day. And Krishna was there practicing, and I bumped into him. I thought he was VJ because he was wearing the same goggles, glasses, and I thought that was him. But
spitting image.
Yeah, they're only 1 year apart. And yeah, I bumped into him, and he pretty much took me under his wing, and yeah, it went from there.
Tell us a bit about your sport. Why golf?
To be honest, I started when I was 11 years old in school. A mate that I was, one of my best mates, he said, come and play golf. And I was like, at that time I was playing rugby league, and I thought, I'm not going to play golf, it's a girls' game. But yeah, and I went there and I actually beat him the first time. And I thought, you play all the time, this is an easy game. It didn't turn out to be as easy, but yeah, that's how I started.
And you've played all over the world, haven't you? In the United States,
I have, yep.
here in Australia, and Fiji.
Yep.
Where's been your favourite place to play?
America's the place, you know, to play for sure. You know, I enjoyed playing over there. It's different to here. The golf courses are very different. I mean, I love playing in Australia, but unfortunately the bigger tournaments are over there, so that's definitely the place to be. Even though now there's like 4 or 5 major tours, where back when I was starting there was pretty much just the European tour and the US tour.
You spent several years living in the United States. What's brought you back to Australia?
So I had a few injuries and basically back problems and stuff, so I came back. I had some great coaches over there. I learnt a lot, and came back and started doing that. And my brother started a golf shop, and now I've started another golf tour company, which is this one, Luxury Golf Tours, and I'm kicking that off now this year. So.
Now, I asked Brad where his favourite place to play golf has been. Matt, where's your favourite place to swim?
Unfortunately, like a lot of the places that we swim are either in Australia or US. I think the most Canada. I think for me, I competed in 2013 in World Championships in Montreal. That was pretty cool. I think that would be one of my favourite places. But I think any place that I have the opportunity to travel and compete for my country is pretty special. And yeah, I think Montreal will be the pick of the tournaments.
Why Montreal?
I just like the food was pretty cool. The people and this is like really easy city to get around. Like being competing in swimming, we don't get a lot of time to do sightseeing. So that kind of the only gauge I can get, I guess, from a city or a country is pretty much, I guess, from the airport and the drive-through to the hotel. So yeah, it's very minimal in terms of what I can gauge on. But yeah, it's great to represent your country and great to travel and great to see the world, really.
Albie, where's your favourite place to wrestle?
I'd have to say it would be my hometown, so in the western suburbs, just because I got all my family there, my cousins, my friends. I just love it when they get to watch me, and they don't really get the opportunity much to come down and watch me, especially if I'm performing like somewhere far. So I really appreciate when they do come to watch me. It just gives me like an extra little push.
So when you wrestle, is it in Sydney or is it across Australia?
It's across Australia. You can go overseas. Just depends where you get booked.
Have you been overseas?
I have been overseas a couple of times.
Where's your favourite place overseas?
I'd probably have to say in America, just all over there because it's so big there. It's so big. I just love going there.
What have been some of your biggest challenges as a wrestler?
As a wrestler would be definitely keeping up with everybody else. That's one thing, because I've come from the modelling industry, so...
Because you're a fitness model.
That's correct.
Again, we'll come to that very soon.
Yeah.
So do you find you've got to keep up your fitness because everybody else is doing the same thing?
Fitness and also your technical skills, making sure that you're always training, you're not left behind. Yeah.
What would a typical training day consist of for you?
A lot of rolls, a lot of running around, taking a lot of bumps, flipping. Yeah, a lot of stuff, a lot of bruises, a lot of food.
Food's the best bit.
Good food only.
And you have an excuse to eat it because you've got to keep up your energy levels.
That's correct, but I only stay good. I never cheat with my food. That's the one thing I take seriously.
I wish I could keep off chocolate. It's not part of my training.
In a cheat meal.
If you got any chocolate, just share it with me. I wouldn't mind. I need some now. Anyway, in a moment we'll ask you about what makes you so passionate about your sport. But before we do that, let's take a little bit of a look at you in action. Let's start with Matt. Let's see you.
He's the four-time Paralympian who cast his sights on setting a new world record.
Born 15 weeks premature, Matt Levy has survived 46 operations. Remarkably, the visually impaired athlete has swam his way to 7 Paralympic medals.
The intensity from Matt Levy on that breaststroke leg was unlike anything we've seen from him this week. You can see he's in a race to win. The fight between Wang, Serrano and Levy for the bronze medal is really tight. He's claimed the Chinese. Can Levy get on the wall for a bronze medal? He might. He does.
It looks as though the favourite in lane 4, Matthew Levy, the Australian, finished 4th in the London Paralympics 4 years ago, and he's setting off his campaign as he needs to go on here.
Obviously, I'm 29 years age and I'm going on my 4th game, so it's probably fairly unusual, but if you just keep trying and keep persevering, there's always light at the end of the tunnel and always that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
It is Matthew Levy just ahead of Serrano Zarate on his left-hand side, and it is Matthew Levy of Australia who wins it.
What an inspirational and amazing video, Matt. I've watched that, and to hear Advance Australia Fair as you're standing on the podium at the London Paralympics, winning gold, how did that feel for you?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I guess like at the time doesn't sink in really that like what I've achieved, but I think as I look back on it, it's amazing achievement, and it's like I guess testament to the hard work and dedication that I've done that I've had over the years, and the support of friends, family, coaches, everyone. I guess like at the end of the day, we compete to do our very best, but to win a gold medal, it's just fantastic, and it's really, I guess, humbling experience.
Tell us about your passion for your sport.
I guess my passion for my sport started back in 2000 when I was lucky enough to see the Paralympics in Sydney. I think that's where it kind of started. I was 12, 13 at the time. And yeah, it was just great to kind of, I guess, see people with far worse disabilities than myself, and see them compete for their respective countries. And yeah, that's, I guess, where the passion started, and it kind of grew from there. And I'd always been swimming just for my health and for my neurological disabilities. And yeah, I just kind of obviously decided that I wanted to compete for my country, and I just decided to have a goal and train a bit more. And I knew Athens 2004 was coming up less than 4 years later, so yeah, I trained really hard and saw that as a major goal, and I was lucky enough to make my first Paralympics in 2004. And yeah, like the trials was really nerve-wracking, and yeah, because it was my very first trials and I didn't really know what to expect, but yeah, it was really amazing experience the last couple of years.
You started swimming when you were 12. At what point did you realise that you were good enough to compete?
I've been swimming like I probably started swimming maybe when I was like maybe 11 or so. I guess it never really clicked till I guess I made my first team. Really, like I was just mainly doing it for the love of it and the passion of it, and like to know that in myself I knew that it helped me in my day-to-day life and what I was doing. So that was kind of the first aim, and then like, everything else was secondary. And I think when I made my first team in 2002, I kind of really started to sense that I was half decent at it, and I really should focus more on what I'm doing. And yeah, that's kind of when I guess tried to get as much tools and much advice, I guess, from other people to obviously continue myself on that journey. Because yeah, obviously it's an individual sport per se, but I guess you can't do something like swimming and something like on the world stage without the support of a lot of people. So,
what's been the sporting highlight in your career for you?
From a sporting perspective, I think it would have been winning the gold medal in the London 2012 Paralympic Games. It was part of the relay, and yeah, it was just fantastic to be part of a team and compete for your country. But I think outside of the sport, being awarded the OAM Order of Australia medal in 2014 was pretty special. And yeah, it's just
your Australian nobility.
Yeah, it's just like I guess for service to sport and kind of national recognition, I guess. It's pretty special. So yeah, just those two highlights, I guess, of my career.
Well, thanks, Matt.
Thanks.
He's got a lot of medals, though.
A lot of medals, very impressive.
I was going to say there wasn't many.
You're pretty good, I've got to say.
Thanks.
Well, Albie, let's see you in action. Wow, I felt I was in the ring then. Pure theatre, pure adrenaline, pure action. Albie Aldahawi, the Australian Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champion. Show us your medal.
It's pretty heavy, I'll tell you that much. I'm used to posing with it, so I always do that.
Well, I've seen the Instagram post. You're very good at posing.
There you go.
You want to do something with this one too?
That's got to weigh a few pounds.
Yeah, it does. It's pretty heavy. You want to feel it?
Yes, please. This is the highlight of my day. And it is heavy. Wow. AWF Tag Team Champion. I feel like a winner. I'm not, but I feel like a winner. Tell us a bit about the passion for your sport.
It started off as a kid. So back in Jordan, it was me and my dad. We used to just watch it. The Royal Hulk Hogan, back in the old days. We didn't really have much. We weren't really allowed to go out much. So then it would just be in our room, in our house. It started out with just like, wrestling with my pillow. When we moved to Australia, then I changed that pillow to my little brother, and then I started wrestling with him. And then, yeah, ever since then, it's just kept us bonding over something. So we always watched it, and then my dad started watching us doing it. So yeah, it's just been like a mad journey, let's just say.
At what stage did you realise you were good enough to compete?
I think when the views started coming in, when I started posting it onto YouTube, and then the fan support. the family support, and then training, and then people telling me that, hey, you should actually try it out, do it in front of people. Like I lacked confidence big time before. That's something that I worked on and I built on. Yeah.
So do you think that played a major role in you building up that confidence?
Of course.
Were you quite a shy kid?
I wouldn't say shy, I'd say more reserved, a little bit scared, yeah.
And you said you used to wrestle your little brother. Is he a wrestler too now?
He's not a wrestler, no. He used to just get beat up.
He was the prop. He was the prop.
He was the pillar.
And what sort of support have you had from other family members and the industry itself?
So through wrestling, I was able to come across so many other avenues. So many doors opened up to me. The fan support has been amazing. The family support, they support me no matter what I do. And I love that. And yeah, a lot of things from one thing.
What have been your biggest challenges?
Biggest challenges would definitely be my confidence. So stepping out, as a refugee coming into this country, you are stereotyped. You can't do this, you can't do that. Study, work, stick to that. You're not really supposed to look at what happens on TV. Follow those dreams, those big dreams, because they're just dreams. But then when you do try and go for it, it's a whole other story.
It appears to be pretty violent. Have you ever been seriously hurt?
Yeah, I've broken my nose. A lot of bruises. I think I've got a bruise here right now. Somewhere. Yeah, a lot of bruises, a lot of blood.
Ouch. Real blood.
Oh, it's real blood, yeah. Not tomato sauce.
That's got to hurt. Thanks, Albie.
It's all good.
Brad, let's see a bit of you in action.
And then the next one when I came out was pretty calm, maybe 2 club wins. But the actual setting.
Brad there showing us him at his best. I saw a couple of shots there, and one at the end you were walking with a rather familiar man. Who was that?
That's Vijay Singh. So I was lucky enough, one of my best friends, his brother Krishna, who I grew up playing golf with, and was lucky enough to spend a bit of time with Vijay in Fiji, and which has helped me out with my new golf company, with the golf tours. Yeah, unbelievable experience. I mean, the second or third highest paid golfer of all time, and yeah, it was great to spend time with him and see how he plays the game, which is still incredible at 54 years old.
Amazing.
It's unbelievable, yeah. It's,
How does it feel knowing and often working with somebody of his pedigree?
well, it's very daunting. It's you look at that time I was 38. I thought, I hope I'm still like that. Yeah, well, half of that, you know. I mean, the guy hits the ball so far; it's incredible at that age. And yeah, I mean, it's just you just take it all in and see how you go, you know. And I use a lot of that stuff now.
In a couple of those shots, you were indoors. Where was that?
So that's my brother created Precision Golf 4 years ago, and now we've moved into which is the biggest indoor golfing facility in Australia. That's my twin brother, and I've been working there, coaching and working in the store, and there's a lot of technology, nearly $500,000 worth of technology, cameras and coaching equipment, plus driving range. We've also got an indoor short game facility which nobody else has. Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable. So and they're very accurate. So it's great.
Next level, eh?
Yeah, it's great. Well, it is. Yeah, I mean, back when I was a kid, we didn't have any of that stuff. You know, you didn't even have a phone to be able to, you know, film yourself. But now you've got cameras in the ground, up above you, side, everywhere, face, balance plates. Yeah, it's awesome.
Can you tell us a bit about the passion for your sport that you've got? You're clearly very passionate.
Yeah, so I became pretty good my early teens. I pretty much won everything in my age division every year, and got a little bit slower towards the 20s, but then I turned pro, played in the islands a little bit. I went to Asia, and then eventually went to America and won a little bit there on the mini tours. And I was mainly a practicer, so I had to spend 10 to 12 hours a day practicing. If I had 2 or 3 days off, I could never, get the same out of it. And eventually got injuries and have come back and started coaching and doing other venues of golf.
That's what I love about you. Not only are you a pro golfer, but you're a coach. You're giving something back to other golfers.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to work with some of the best coaches in the world, which are in America, and lucky to meet them and be able to, at that time was never really thinking about coaching, but of course I was playing, but I could never get all that I wanted from one guy, so I'd move to the next guy, and I'd take a piece of this and a piece of that, and I put it all together myself, and I think I'm pretty good at, up there with the best of them when it comes to the golf swing, that's for sure.
Thanks so much, Brad. Albie, I've got to start with you. I'm intrigued by your Instagram. 130,000 followers. How on earth?
I'll be honest with you, I just keep posting things and then it just goes viral. I don't know. Like, you just do what you usually do and then you just post it up and then social media just eats it up. I think I'm at like 160 now, 165 roughly.
165,000
I gotta double check.
How often do you post?
I try to post every second day, but on your stories it's like constant. Every 2 hours, whatever you're doing, drinking water, yeah, take a photo of it. Show everything.
I've got 900 followers. I feel a little bit insignificant there. So what kind of photos are they?
I'd say a lot of shirtless photos. So
that's why.
That helps a bit.
I don't have any of those. You'll be relieved to know. Tell us a bit about your other passions outside your sport.
So through fitness, I got into modelling. So I got a couple of agencies who hooked me up to a couple of brands. My biggest brands would be Levi's, Nike, Stussy, a lot of several fitness brands that I've worked with, which is pretty cool. I've done a lot of Speedos, Aussie Bum, stuff like that, so that's pretty cool as well. A lot of body shots. Other than fitness modelling, we also started my own cologne, so men's cologne perfume, and that started out pretty cool as well, out of nowhere. Through my agency, we just started creating just 100. We're like, we'll just make 100 of them, we'll put them on your website, albishop.com, and we'll just see how it goes. It might take a month to sell, whatever it is. We wake up the next day in the morning and I remember seeing 600, and I'm not exactly sure the number, it was like 630 orders. I'm like, whoa, 100's not enough, I'm going to try to
That's a lot of orders. How on earth
out of nowhere
do you begin in designing your own perfume, and how do you decide what aroma it's got?
I pretty much created the scent that I liked. So I just put flavors together that I really like. I like the tobacco kind of flavor. I also like, the scent. I also like the vanilla kind of scent. So I just put it all together and I just really liked it. When I went through to the agency, they let me just play around with a couple of flavors and yeah.
Do you wear your own perfume?
Of course. I don't wear anything else.
Do you do any personal training or anything like that?
I do, but it's very private one-on-one. I'm booked out until, from 4.5 months from now. There's a big waiting list. I do overcharge, but then it's mainly just to interact with the fans, show them what I got. Some people just come out just to meet me and then do the personal training, where others actually take it seriously.
So beyond all those passions,
yeah,
what else do you like doing? Do you go cinema?
Oh, going to the movies is my favorite thing. Me and my wife, we want to start a family soon, so that's another thing. We want to build another house. So there's a couple of things that I'm working towards.
Movies, I love movies.
I love movies.
What kind of genre?
I like horror.
Horror?
But I don't mind a good story.
I can't do horror.
You can't do horror?
I watched Scream, and I was screaming. It's the only thing I just cannot do. All that blood, all that gore.
Oh, come on.
I get frightened easily. I can't do Halloween. I cannot leave the apartment during Halloween. I see those kids dressed up. It's freaky.
We go to Luna Park all the time for Halloween and we dress up. Oh, it's the best.
Luna Park's the best place to go to, even on Halloween.
Especially on Halloween.
In fact, on my way to the studios today, I went via Luna Park as we went over the bridge.
Yeah.
Amazing place. It's always got people there. And I remember on one of the anniversaries of Michael Jackson's death, they recreated Thriller, and we all filmed it at Luna Park. Amazing.
Yeah, it's so cool.
And you want to start a family?
I do. Yeah, definitely. I think I'm ready for that.
Where did you meet your wife?
It was just through friends and a little bit of social media, I guess you could say. So I sent a couple of pictures and She gave me a number.
How long have you been together?
5 years now. We've been married for 2 years. We're hitting 2 years.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And good luck with all of that.
Thank you.
Matt, tell us a bit about your passions outside of swimming.
Yeah, I guess when I have spare time. Yeah, obviously training's pretty full on, but I work at one of the big 4 banks. So I do that probably from 8 till 3 in the afternoon, and then go to training afterwards. But I do a bit of motivational speaking, so yeah, so I do a bit of that for whoever wants to book me. Just like, I guess, talking about my journey, kind of what I've learnt from my sport and life, really. Apart from that, I guess I'm pretty into Netflix these days. Netflix is pretty cool.
Any favourite shows?
I watched The Good Place, but now that the season's finished, so I have to wait for the next season to come along. But yeah, like, I guess all those mediums, I guess there's always stuff you can watch and stuff you can learn from, and yeah, it's great to have a good selection.
Netflix
Yeah,
is awesome.
yeah, yeah, it's really good. Apart from that, yeah, I guess really don't have much time for anything else. Yeah,
You're a busy person.
Yeah.
I mean, I love watching TV shows. One of my favourites is Bodyguard, which is a British show, which has just won some awards, and also Killing Eve, another fantastic series. And watch those if you ever get a chance. Great shows. Just a little plug there. You work for a bank. What kind of work do you do for the bank?
So I'm a business analyst. So I work as part of the customer contact centre in the operations area there. So just working on medium to large size projects to kind of help with improving customers and bankers. And we also do, once a month, we do like a briefing session with all the new projects coming through. So that's pretty busy time as well. But yeah, I work like part-time, about 30 hours a week. So it's pretty busy there, and then pretty busy in the pool. And yeah, apart from that, I don't have much time for anything else really. But yeah, I enjoy what I do, and yeah, it's just a matter of, I guess, like both of the other guests have said, that like it's about creating opportunities, and
it is.
Seeing what's out there and how you can kind of make things work for you and for others as well.
You're based in Sydney, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah.
What do you love most about our city?
I'm lucky enough to train at North Sydney Pool, which is just near Luna Park. So I definitely take the Harbour Bridge and the Opera House for granted. But it's definitely great to train and to be in a city such as Sydney. And I'm very fortunate to have such great, where I live, I have great public transport, which definitely does help. I'm getting from A to B and getting to training and to work. And yeah, I think it's just like the lifestyle in Sydney is obviously pretty fast paced, but to have great support network and great family and friends, it definitely makes it all worthwhile.
Because you mentioned support from family and friends. How important is that?
Yeah, definitely, like from a sporting and outside of sporting perspective, it definitely is definitely needed. I can't do what I do in my sport and feel normal, I guess, in society without like friends and family, kind of, I guess, tapping on the shoulder if they feel something's not going right with you, or they want to give you some advice here and there, and that kind of thing. It's definitely helps to have another perspective on life, because definitely in a sporting realm, you can get caught up in what you're doing, and I guess lose sense sometimes of what reality is, and which is definitely something you need to kind of keep grounded with. Like, it's very hard, I guess, in a sporting landscape to keep your feet on the ground and to really remember why you started in the sport in the first place. And for me, I just try and always remember why I started and why I enjoyed and why I'm passionate about the sport, to keep myself, I guess, motivated in 32 years of age. So.
If you had any advice for your younger self, what would it be?
I guess just enjoy the moment, enjoy the opportunity to be fit, be healthy, and if you're lucky enough to represent your country, enjoy that as well. But really, just enjoy, be passionate about what you're doing, and yeah, and I guess learn from other people and learn from everyone around you, really.
Before I go to Brad, can I ask you the same question, Albie? What advice would you give to your younger self?
Don't hold back, that's for sure. Because as soon as I stopped holding back, I started seeing results. So don't hold back, don't listen to what people say. Don't let anyone hold you back especially.
Be your own person.
Exactly.
Brad, tell us a bit about your passions outside golf.
Well, everything pretty much involves sport with me, but definitely Australian rules football.
What's your team?
Sydney Swans, the best team, mind you.
Absolutely.
Since 2000, we've been in every final. But I love Australian football, even though I grew up playing rugby league, and I converted over to.
What was the conversion? How did that happen?
A mate of mine took me to the SCG when I was probably 16 years old, and at first, I used to look at the game and I thought, I can't understand it. They're throwing the ball everywhere. It's like no ruls. But now the game's, it's just so incredible. I think they're the best athletes on the earth, without a doubt. I just love the game. And
do you play yourself ever?
No, I definitely can't be playing now. I wouldn't last about a minute or a quarter. But no, I played a little bit as a teenager, but mainly rugby league. But yeah, that's definitely my number one thing in sport. But the outside of that, just when I came back from America, was just to go out and drink with my mates, and or just have my mates over in general, because it's a different. It's different cultures, and you just miss camaraderie of just being with your Aussie mates in general, being able to talk about whatever Aussie sports, stuff that those guys can't really relate to, as in growing up. And yeah, and another one is Kung Fu, Wing Chun.
Kung Fu?
That tattoo there.
Wow.
A lot of people ask me what it is, and I say it's special fried rice.
I was hoping it wasn't anything impolite.
A lot of people believe me as well. When I go to order, I put my arm up, but that's from Kung Fu Bruce Lee. So yeah, I've always enjoyed that. And
did you get that done here in Australia?
I did. Yep. I got 4 tattoos, which.
How do they hurt?
No, it's. I mean, you just like rubbing like a sunburn. Didn't really.
You're a brave man. brave man. Anything else? I know you said sport is pretty much your life, and you mentioned Kung Fu. You mentioned Australian rules football, NRL, and everything. Anything else that's non-sporty?
I just like to. I like to watch movies, and I'm watching a series at the moment called Ray Donovan, which, if you haven't seen that, that's the
Give it a plug.
Series. It's about a guy that's a fixer in Los Angeles, Liev Schreiber, and he just goes around and fixes any problems that anybody has, and sometimes with a baseball bat. But yeah, I'm really into it. So every Wednesday now, I'm glued to that. So. Yeah.
What advice would you give your younger self?
I don't really look back on anything in the past. I just got to hear as it went. I wouldn't know what to say, because I don't really look back on things. I'm pretty much in the moment all the time. But if I had to say something, I would just say, just follow your own path and don't listen to anybody. Just whatever you want to do, there's nothing you can't do, that's for sure.
Agreed.
Similar to Albie.
Yep, and I agree with what Albie said, that you just don't listen to what anyone says. If you want to do it, you can definitely do it.
So one more question, and if you could answer it in a couple of sentences. Matt, what are your hopes for the future?
I guess just really just like live in the moment, just go with the flow really. I guess all you can do is, do what you think is right, and kind of do what you feel is going to help you in the long run. And I guess just really be happy and be healthy.
Albie, same question. What are your hopes for the future?
Hopes for the future would definitely be family, working on that, wrestling more often, getting more championships, hopefully. I'm working currently on a commercial for my fragrance, so hopefully to launch that on
Good
TV
luck with
soon.
that.
Thank you.
I might have to order some.
Yeah, we've just got a couple of business plans that we're working on. Yeah.
And Brad, what are your hopes for the future?
Well, to be honest, I don't really look into the future. I'm here now, and I live every moment, and it'll be what it'll be. So I don't really look into the future.
Wise words to end on. Thank you so much, Brad, Albie and Matt, for joining us here.
Thanks for having me.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for joining us here on the panel shows Playing the Game. I've been William Brougham. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.